Hi everybody, we are getting started here at Main Street Yoga, and today is Kundalini for all. So we will learn a little bit about Kundalini and do a practice. If you are practicing live or from home, we are going to have a couple of options. So behind me, you'll see I have a bolster and 2 blocks that I'm going to mainly be sitting on. And I also have a chair. So if you're more comfortable in a chair, please feel free to sit in a chair. It can be on the side of a couch, it can be a dining room chair, it can be a folding chair, whatever works for you. If you are most comfortable just seated on the floor, you can also just be seated in an easy seat, comfortable seat on the floor. Lots of options, and a lot of the class will be seated. So make sure you're comfortable wherever you're at. This is Yoga for All. I'm Lori Brammer. We are at Main Street Yoga, and class will last about an hour. So if you are practicing with us, get settled in, and we are going to get started. I think that's everybody, so I'm going to shut this door. Hey, hi everybody. Thank you for being here. So I know some of you have been here for other Yoga for All classes, and I will just give a quick rundown about Yoga for All, or Yoga for Everyone. It is a collaboration between myself and Erin Hager. We applied for a mini grant through Cultivate Fairmont, which was a program that Fairmont had available for some grant money. So we were able to get a grant, and each week we are bringing you free yoga here at Main Street Yoga. And super happy to be able to provide free yoga and get people in the studio and access to different styles of yoga. We've done all kinds of different things so far. Today will be another different practice. So yoga encompasses so many different things. Everything from our power flow, where you're really physically challenging the body, to yoga nidra, which is coming up, where you're challenging the mind and you're just laying there and you're not really moving at all. So we have done everything in between, and just wanted to make sure that people know there's probably a style of yoga that you will find that you love. So we wanted to make sure that we were giving access to lots of different things in this free series. So today we're going to talk about Kundalini, which is a style of yoga that was brought to the West by a man, and he came to California, kind of started spreading the practice, and it is continuing to spread today. It is really a technology that's used to raise and balance your energy, and it has a lot of very purposeful actions. So Kundalini is made up of sets of exercises that have a specific outcome. So whether you want a happy liver, or you want to, have clear head, or, anything that you could ever want, there are thousands of kriyas out there, and they are comprised of these sets of movements, which are yoga movements, and breath work, mantra, meditation. It's this kind of combination. You're doing all of these things, and as you're doing all of these things, you're kind of focused on, oh, what am I doing? And your head space becomes clear, because the mental chatter isn't there, because you're focused on doing all of these other things. So it's a pretty cool approach to yoga. Kundalini is known as the yoga of awareness, so we become more aware of our bodies as we're moving. A lot of times, as we're moving through our days, we're not really paying attention to the body. We're not noticing aches or pains or tension or anything can't do any of this right or wrong. This is your practice. This is your hour. So make sure your body feels good as we go through. And, we all have these bodies. They're going to move in different ways. They're going to look different ways when we're doing practices. So just pay attention to how you're feeling, and that's the most important part. We want to feel good in our bodies. So as we're moving through some of this stuff, there's going to be some breath work that's, it can feel pretty intense. Again, you can't do it right or wrong because this is all a practice, and if something doesn't feel good, then we're going to adjust, okay? Let's see. One of the things with Kundalini Yoga is it is pretty heavily mantra-based. So a mantra is a phrase that is utilized for kind of tuning into class and closing out class. And then we'll use one during class for a meditation. So to open class, it's Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And that's simply calling in this idea that we have this guidance system within ourselves. So we are our own best teacher. We're going to know as we're moving through class, we're going to stay connected to ourselves, and we're going to listen to that inner guidance system. So we're practicing in tune with our own bodies, with our own minds. And then we'll close out with Satnam, which is just honoring that truth within us and honoring that teacher and making sure we're staying connected to that. Let's see if I have anything else for this particular class. I think that's pretty much it. So listen to your body. Some of the movements are repetitive. So if we're doing something and you're like, oh, that doesn't feel good anymore, take a break. So it really is designed for everybody. And a bit of background for Kundalini for myself, I started practicing it, and one of the things that Kundalini offers are these challenges. You have 40-day challenges or 120-day challenges where you're doing the same thing every day for consecutive days. And at the time, my kids were little, and I didn't have a lot of time to practice, but I felt like I was doing it consecutive days in a row, and I would feel a lot more clear and a lot more present and grounded, and I felt better if I was taking just a short amount of time in the mornings before the craziness of kids started. And very short practice, like 3 minutes every day. I was like, I can find time for 3 minutes before I get kids out of bed. And started a 40-day practice, and after 40 days, you have these kind of changes that happen. I was like, oh wow, that really worked. I feel really good. So I started doing them longer, doing challenges longer, and saw these huge gains with just taking, anywhere from 3 to 15 minutes doing something in the morning. And I was like, all right, I'm sold on Kundalini. It works, and it feels really good for your body. So I'm now, 1,300 or 1,400 days of consecutive Kundalini practice, and it has definitely, made a huge difference in my life. So I definitely wanted to share that with people in this setting. So what we're going to do is just find a comfortable place, and we'll kind of, go ahead.
You had said earlier, you used the word Kriya. You said there's thousands of Kriyas. What's a Kriya?
So a Kriya is the set of exercises that you do. It's like, if you think of a sun salutation, if you're familiar with vinyasa, it would be kind of equivalent to that. And we'll kind of move through, and I'll explain, you'll understand more as we go through kind of what the Kriya is comprised of. So it will be sets of exercises that you do, and it's in a very specific order, and it has very specific outcomes. So Kundalini is pretty science-based. So as you're doing these things, there are all of these things happening in the body, and from like a training perspective, it's hard to kind of communicate it all when you're going through a class. It's a lot of like details in terms of you're hitting specific meridians, and you're activating energy in specific chakras, and you're balancing here and balancing there. And be really specific in going into that, and sometimes it's just too much to kind of weave into a class. But it is very specific in the outcomes that you're trying to achieve. So, and we'll talk about that more. Yeah, any other questions before we get started? Okay, so let's just get comfortable, find a comfortable seat, ground down through your sit bones, see if you can let your spine be nice and tall, let your shoulders relax away from your ears. You might let your eyes close or let the eyes come down to the floor in front of you, whichever one is most comfortable. And again, if you're practicing at home or practicing on replay, you're welcome to be on the floor or in a chair, whichever one is best for your body today. And see if you can just notice the body here. So you might notice how the legs feel. You might feel the sit bones connected to your bolster, the floor, or the chair. You might see if you can relax the shoulders just a little bit more. And maybe relax the facial muscles in between the eyebrows, through the forehead. And notice the breath. Notice if the chest is expanding on the inhale. Notice if the belly is expanding as you inhale. And if the belly isn't expanding on your next inhale, see if you can bring the breath all the way down into the lower belly space and kind of make a Buddha belly. Inhaling fully down into the belly, and as you exhale, just a nice slow exhale back out through the nose. And a lot of times it may feel uncomfortable to take these full belly breaths because we're used to breathing up into the chest space or even the shoulder space. And we can do that diaphragmatic breathing where we're getting that full breath down into the belly and doing a slow exhale. And that's really allowing for a full breath and allowing us to feel fully oxygenated. So if it feels okay, as you inhale, you might push the belly out and pull the shoulders back some. So your chest is pushing out, and then as you exhale, just slowly rolling back. So you're inhaling, letting the chest expand open. Let the belly feel open. And as you exhale, just rounding through the back. Maybe leaning back a little bit, tucking the chin. And keep moving through that as it feels comfortable. So we're starting to do these spinal flexes with the breath. So inhaling as you round open through the chest and exhaling as you round the back. Nice and slow, nice and easy. A lot of Kundalini has to do with opening up the spine, so moving the spinal fluid, starting to warm up the whole body. It's thought that we have this energy sitting at the base of our spine, and through these practices, it kind of raises up and just balances all of our energy centers. So if you think about your energy center of your heart space, a lot of times, in your heart decision is right or wrong because you feel it in the heart space. So that's the energy of the heart. Or you might feel it in the belly, in the solar plexus space, kind of right above the navel. And when it feels complete, you can just come back to center. Just allow your eyes to stay closed here, the gaze down to the floor, and just notice how the body feels after moving and breathing a little bit. So they're going to be pretty simple exercises to enhance the energy flow, to make the body feel a little bit more open. It doesn't have to be these necessarily hour-long yoga practices. We can find these short, really effective, efficient practices that we can squeeze into places that make sense. Not that we want to really be squeezing yoga in, and it can be that that's the case, and it's better to do a little yoga than no yoga. So we have to do what we have to do. And then let the eyes open. And we'll just bring our hands together and create some heat with the hands. We have all of these meridian points, acupressure points in the palms of the hands. So really just bringing some energetic flow into the palms. And you can either plug the thumbs into the chest here, or you can bring a hand to the heart and the belly, whichever one feels most comfortable for you. And we're going to open by just saying Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, and you're welcome to join in with me as I say it, or you're welcome to just listen. So we'll take a deep breath in together, big inhale, and an exhale. And we'll inhale and exhale. And then we'll inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Let's take a deep breath in. And we'll exhale. And just take a moment to check back in with the body and remember that you are your own best teacher, and to stay connected to that. And that doesn't just apply here. That applies off of the mat as well. Let's start to bring our hands back down to our knees. And we're just going to do a simple warm-up. So we'll start to roll the neck out. However it feels good for you today is how we'll start. So choose a direction and just let the neck roll gently. And usually I would have some fun music playing, but because we're live, I'm a little hesitant to have music just for the sound quality. I don't have a microphone on, so I don't want it to sound muffled. And when you're ready, reverse the circles, go the other way. And when you come back to center, let your left ear drop towards your left shoulder. And just pause there, take some breaths. And then let your chin drop down towards your chest. And again, pause there. And let your So one of the things with Kundalini is utilizing our breath to move energy. So we're going to do that same spinal flex that we started with, but this time we'll kind of allow the breath to be a little bit more powerful. So it's in through the nose, out through the nose. And I want you to see what pace feels best for you, but it's going to be faster probably, okay? So it will be an inhale, open, exhale, round. Inhale, open, exhale, round. Whenever you're ready, just start moving. Let the breath be loud. So you really want to use that breath because that's our life force energy, and we're able to really start to tone the lungs up and really get some oxygen flowing into the body. So it's almost like a little cardio workout that we get to do as we move. And remember, take a break anytime you need to take a break. If you can stick with the breath, you can stay with the breath, or if the breath gets to be too much, try to stick with the movement. Everybody's looking great. And the other thing with Kundalini is a lot of times exercises are time-based. So it may be a 1-minute exercise, or maybe a 3-minute exercise, or it's based upon the number of repetitions. So today we're going to do time-based exercises, and we're almost there, last few seconds. And the next time you inhale, open up, take a big inhale. Pause there, holding the breath in. Exhale, round the shoulders. Inhale, open up again. Suspend the breath. Exhale, release. And just let your body relax here. You might let your eyes close here. You might bring the gaze down to the floor or let your eyes close. And just notice how you feel. Again, these pretty simple breath and movement exercises can shift energy really quickly. And we take these pauses in between to not only pay attention to that, but it's a way to tone the nervous system. So we're doing this almost cardio, stressful breath and movement, stressful in terms of the physiological stresses. Your heart rate increases, you might feel your breath increase as we do these, and then we pause and let everything settle and integrate, and then that translates to off the mat. So when we're off the mat and we get in a stressful situation, our bodies are programmed to go back into this rested space, stress-free place. Okay, we're going to move into what are called washing machines. So if it feels comfortable, you can bring your hands up to your shoulders. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you can bring your hands into Gyan Mudra, so thumb and index finger up in goddess arms, so whichever one. And if neither of those feel good, you can have your arms down at your sides and Gyan Mudra here. So either way. What we're going to do is we're going to twist. I'll demonstrate. We'll twist left, twist right. It will be inhale left, exhale right. So it's the same idea as the previous exercise. It's a pretty powerful breath. So whenever you're ready, start to twist left, right, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let your eyes close down here if that feels okay. And only twist as far as it feels good. And if you get tired, take a break. Keep going. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let it feel powerful with the breath. So you're doing a full inhale, full exhale as you twist. Everybody looks great. Keep going. We're time-based, so we're about halfway there. chin might lift up. Exhale, round the whole body. We'll inhale, open, great big. Suspend the breath at the top. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. And exhale, release. Let the hands come down. Let your eyes close down again. Or down to the floor. And just notice any shifts here. Notice how you feel through the head space, through the upper back. And for some people, these exercises are uncomfortable on an energetic level because we're not used to shifting energy in the ways that this shifts energy. So just noticing that. Now we're going to move into cat-cows. So a couple of options. I'll show you all of the options and you make your choice. Option one would be if you are in a chair. It's going to be kind of similar to our spinal flexes, but we're going to have our arms up and it would be inhale, open, exhale, round, like you're pressing forward. Inhale, open, exhale, round. Similar thing if we're using the bolster. So inhale, open, exhale, round. You're not rounding quite as much as when we were doing the spinal flexes before. You're kind of imagining that you're hitting this wall in front of you, okay? And you're engaging through the core. The other option would be to be on your hands and knees and to do an inhale, open, exhale, round. Inhale, open, exhale, round. So whichever version feels best for you today, we're going to come into whatever position we're going to start in. And we'll inhale, open, exhale, round. Inhale, exhale, in, out. And you move at whatever pace feels good for you. Definitely don't have to be synced up with me or with anybody else. And we're doing a lot of back work here, so make sure you're not overextending. Make sure you're really paying attention to how the back feels, okay? We won't be here for much longer. This is a little bit of a shorter one. You can let your eyes be closed and really focus and feel into the body. Last few seconds. We're going to inhale, open up. Suspend the breath. Exhale, round. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round. Let the arms release. Let your shoulders relax down. Let your eyes close. Give yourself a little break. You might notice the energy through the shoulders, through the arms. And remember, We're going to bring the left shoulder up, inhale, right shoulder up, exhale. Inhale, left shoulder up, exhale, right shoulder up. So you're inhaling up, exhaling the right one up. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And it's a little tricky to get into, so just play with it. And you can slow it down to start. If you need to sync it back up, you get lost. And the other thing about these shoulder shrugs is it can feel pretty tense and it can feel tight through the shoulders. And you might think, ooh, that's not feeling super great. And what tends to happen is we actually release tension as we're kind of squeezing. It starts to lengthen the muscles and allow some space in there. Last few rounds. You guys are looking great. We're going to inhale. We'll squeeze both shoulders up towards the ears. Suspend the breath. And when we exhale, we'll let the shoulders drop. Inhale, squeeze up. Exhale, drop. One more time. And exhale. And again, just rest. We'll take a little longer rest on this one. We're starting to get into the activation portion of the practice. So we did our warm up, and now these exercises are going to be a little bit more intense. Yeah.
When we're doing like this real fast, are we just kind of breathing into here? We're not trying to go to our belly.
You are trying to go to your belly. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is also tricky. So that's what I was talking about. Like, you're doing all of these things, you're trying to sync the breath and you're trying to figure it all out, and you just don't have any time to be up in your head about anything other than exactly what you're doing, which is kind of freeing and a really cool byproduct of doing the exercises. All right. How's everybody feeling? Good? Okay. How are you, Os? I'm tired. I don't know what you guys are doing, but I don't want to participate. Okay, we're going to be here, or if you're in a chair, same idea. I'll demonstrate the chair first, and then I'll move down. We're going to, if you're in a chair, you're going to want to open, you're going to want to come to the edge a little bit, open the legs up, hands are on the thighs. We're going to start to move in a circle. So same idea if you're seated, come into that easy seat with the legs crossed if that's comfortable. And you can probably do it with your knees bent like that if that's most comfortable. So you're choosing one way to move, and you want to imagine that your spine is nice and straight, like a stirring stick, and you're stirring into that pelvic bowl. So we're not rounding so much here, we're really keeping the spine straight and moving in one direction. And then you might sync it up with the breath. Inhaling as you open, exhaling as you come back. Okay? Inhale as you round forward, exhale as you round back. And you can make it as fast or as slow as you want. Slow might be nice so that you're really focusing on feeling each of those movements. You can really feel the spine and the back opening up as you're moving. So inhaling forward, exhaling back. You might close your eyes here. I find that closing the eyes really allows me to tune into my body a little bit more. When my eyes are open, I'm seeing all of the things that are in the input realm. Let the breath be full here, so all the way down to the belly, full inhales, full exhales. We can't take a full inhale unless we take a full exhale, so you might have to slow down. I get up here and I get going real fast because I'm talking and I'm not really syncing my breath up very well. Whenever you're ready, reverse. inhaling as you go forward, exhaling as you round back. If your eyes are closed, you might bring your awareness up to the center of the forehead, so almost like you're looking in between the eyebrows. Just imagining that you're gazing right in between the eyebrows on the forehead. Continuing to inhale forward, exhale back. And then we'll come to center, sit up nice and tall. Take a big breath in. You might pull those shoulder blades back towards each other again and open up through the chest. And then exhale, round. Inhale, open. As you exhale, open the mouth. Big exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, open. This time when we exhale, you might stick the tongue out. Exhale. We'll do that one more time. Inhale. Big lion's breath. And then just rest. So come back to a nice straight spine, comfortable position. Eyes might be closed. We've got one more sitting exercise and then we'll stand up. So the interesting thing about Kundalini is you're typically sitting for a while and you do some stuff and you're like, oh, I'm tired of sitting. And then you get up and it's a lot of work when you're standing up. So then you're like, oh boy, I'd like to sit down again. So we'll do that. But we might stay seated for the standing portion. We'll see. So we're going to move into a breath practice that is called breath of fire. So breath of fire is a pretty powerful breath. If you have any heart projects, high blood pressure, anything that your heart isn't super happy about, we'll do long, deep breathing. So long, deep breathing is full, slow inhale into the belly, full, slow exhale back out through the nose, okay? If you are pregnant, if you are on the first or second day of your cycle, we'll do long, deep breathing instead of breath of fire, okay? Or if it just doesn't feel good. And it will probably feel really awkward if you've never done it before. So I just invite you to try it and see how it feels and take a break from it. It's one of those things that you can do a couple of rounds, kind of get into it, take a break. Okay, I'll try a couple more rounds, so no pressure. We're going to start with our tongue out, hand on the belly, and we're going to pant like a dog. Ready, Osa? So you should feel your stomach kind of pumping as you exhale. You're pushing air out. As you inhale, it's a little more passive. Now we'll stick our tongues in, close our mouth, and do that through the nose. So it's an exhale through the nose, passive inhale. So you should feel your belly kind of pull in for the exhale and release for the inhale. Again, we'll play with it. So that's our breath of fire. So we're going to get in a position and then we'll play with the breath. And again, long deep breathing is our alternative. So if you get into it and you're like, nope, not for me, I'm just going to do nice long deep breathing, that's perfect, okay? So fingers are going to roll into the palms, thumbs are out. This is our ego finger, so we're going to have it out. Our arms are going to come up if that feels comfortable, so that's one way to do it. And it would be like a locked arm, nice and strong. Arms might be here, okay, if that's more comfortable for the shoulders. Or you might kind of, I'm ready for a ride, a little hitchhiker style here on the side. So depending on your shoulders and what feels good for you. Any position that feels right is great. So what we're going to do is we're going to get in whichever position we want. We'll take a big inhale, big exhale. We'll do another big inhale and exhale. And we'll do a half a breath in and begin that breath of fire through the nose. Keep going, let your eyes close. Keep going as long as it feels good. If the arms get tired up there, let them come down a little bit. Feel the body, let your teacher teach you here. We won't be here long, just a few more seconds. Keep going, very good. Last few seconds. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up, fingertips come up towards the sky. See if you can touch your thumbs together. Hold that, exhale. Big inhale, reach up again. Hold the arms up there, exhale. Inhale, reach. And as you exhale, let the arms float down. And let the hands come to a comfortable position. Let your eyes close. And again, just notice the body. Heart rate, breath rate. How do the shoulders feel? How do the arms feel? How does the belly feel? And the breath of fire really makes you hyper aware of the core region because you're pumping. It's kind of a different exercise. Breath of fire is super effective at toning the lungs. So one of the things that regular Kundalini students recognize or experience is after they've kind of, really toned up their lungs, their breath of fire is pretty frequent, and the other breath practices, they find that when they're sick with cold, congestion, that type of thing, they get over it much more quickly than they used to because the lungs are just able to kind of keep up with all of that yuck. So pretty cool side effect of just incorporating some breath work into your practice. So that was Ego Eradicator, is what it's typically called, or Radiance Charger. So that's a really easy one to do by itself if you're looking for just like a really quick energy enhancer. It's also a victory pose. So if you're going to go do something that you need like some, I need a little bit of encouragement, some self-confidence, do that with some breath of fire before you go in for a minute or two and you'll be good to go. Okay, next one, we're either going to sit in a chair to do this or you can stand up. So yogi's choice on this. I'm going to show you in the chair first. So it would again be kind of on the edge of your chair. Our hands are going to come into Yam Mudra, so index fingers and thumbs come together. And on the chair, we would, hold on, I have to do it standing up because I don't think I can do it seated. Okay, no, I got it. So it's an inhale, you lift one knee, exhale down. Inhale, lift a knee, exhale down, okay? Move this out of the way. So standing, it would be the same thing. You're inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. You guys got it. So as we're moving through this, if it gets too tiresome standing up, feel free to take a seat. It is really the same exercise seated. It feels all of the same things are happening.
All through the nose?
All through the nose. Nice big inhales, big exhales, all the way down to the belly. Your pace. Make it work for your body. We'll be here just a little bit longer. If the arms get tired, don't use the arms, just do the legs. Or vice versa. If the legs are getting tired, just do the arms. attention inward. Last few rounds, almost there. Okay, feet on the floor, arms in the air, big inhale. And exhale, release everything. And just pause here. Notice the heart rate. Notice the breath. Notice how the arms feel and the shoulders. And then we're just going to start to shake the arms a little bit. So we've moved a bunch of energy. We can kind of shake it off, bring it all together. You might shake a leg out. You can always grab your chair, the back of your chair, for a little bit of stability if you'd like. You might bounce a little bit. And then come into some stillness. And from here, you can bring your blocks in front of you. Options for chair, if you would like to step behind your chair, we're just going to do a forward fold. So whichever option feels best for you. You can step behind the chair and use it to brace, or you can just allow yourself to fold down. Use these in whichever setting you like. So tallest, medium, low. You can bring a bend into the knees. Let your head hang, so let the neck relax there. Yeah, you guys look great. Take some deep breaths. Allow the breath to come in fully down into the belly space. Notice the ribs expanding. You might open the mouth here as you exhale. And then slowly roll up. Reach the arms up into the sky and inhale. And then you can exhale the arms down. We'll do that again. We'll inhale the arms up. And exhale down. And from here, you can either come back into the chair for a Shavasana, or you can lay down on your mat. So we'll get comfy and have the last few minutes of class to just relax and integrate. So coming onto your back if that's comfortable, or coming onto the chair to sit. And as you get onto the mat, sometimes a bolster under the knees is nice. Sometimes the blanket on you feels nice. You're welcome to just play with the props as much as you would like. Got a lot of different options going here. Everybody looks like they know what they're doing. So at home, you could do a blanket under the head, you could do a bolster under the head, you could elevate the legs with a block, some bolster. Nice little legs up in the air situation. The bolster can be underneath the knees. As you get reclined back, let everything relax down. Feel the floor beneath you, supporting you. Let the feet relax, the ankles. Let the knees release. Both of the legs all the way up to the hips. Relax through the glutes, the lower back. Let your belly be soft. Your chest open. Relax the shoulders. All the way down both arms to the palms of the hands and the fingers. through the neck. And let all of the muscles of the face relax. Around the eyes, in between the eyebrows. So we're allowing all of the energy that we moved through these exercises to integrate. This is the most important part, is allowing everything to come back together. So letting your body feel heavy. And then we'll just have a few moments of quiet. Start to notice your breath here. So without moving or changing anything, just noticing the inhale and the exhale. And then notice where the body's connected to the floor beneath you or the chair beneath you. And notice where you're not connected to the floor. Notice any sensations on the skin. Notice any smells. Notice any sounds. And then you might slowly start to move the fingers. You might open the palms and you might squeeze the hands into fists. You might point and flex the toes. And move the ankles around. You might open and close the mouth a couple of times. And then eventually allow your eyes to flutter open. And then you can make your way onto one side. Rolling over, cradling your head with your arm. And then we'll close out with a round of Sat Nam. So we'll bring our hands back up together at the center of the chest if that feels good, or hands on belly and heart. And we'll just do a long Sat and a short Nam. You're welcome to listen, you're welcome to join in, you're welcome to hum along. So we'll take a deep breath in, big inhale, and exhale. And let your eyes close down, big inhale, and exhale. And we'll inhale for Sat Nam. Inhale, Sat. Satnam. Thank you all for joining in. If you are live or on replay, thank you for tuning in. If you could leave a little comment at this point in the video, that would be great, just for tracking purposes so we know who is practicing with us. Thank you guys for being here, and we hope to see you back in the coming weeks. Next class is Thursday. We've had Thursdays and Saturdays for the next few weeks, so thank you for coming. thank you all online, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.